My name is James Carley. This is my story, the documentary. We Serve, the Jack's Quarter Secret. Hey, what's up, big guy? How you doing?
All right.
Hey, long time. I snuck in on you, huh?
Made it in.
But no one ever really got a chance to talk to the residents, the people who lived in the Jack's Quarters neighborhood, the Barksdale Annex. Even to this present day and time, no one really get to talk to us or know us.
The only thing I got now is I just leave the flag up there and my sword. That's it.
That's all you...
that's all she'll let me keep up there.
Hey, tell her she shouldn't be like that. Because, because we grew up together, and then your family moved to Bossier, and that was like, okay, the transition of a lot of families coming from the country like we did to country boys moving up to what we call now the city.
Yeah, that was traumatic.
Yes, it was for my family too. And so, tell me a little bit about, your family and what made y'all move up to the city.
Well, everybody, when we were in the country, we moved from the country to the city for opportunities.
Right.
I mean, simply jobs, And that's really why we moved, because it was more opportunity. Mm-hmm. My mom got a better job, so it gave us an opportunity to do something different. And when the schools integrated, that bus ride from the country to the school, it was a long bus ride. Right. So that was the main reason. I think we all moved from the country to create a better opportunity. Mm-hmm. Parents wanted to create a better opportunity for their children, and that's what it turned out for us. Right. And I mean, it was a godsend for me because I got to go to Parkway. So that was a blessing. So.
Yes, because Parkway was one of the better schools during that time as we was growing up. Because my mom, we later followed suit behind you guys and moved to the city, and it was a big difference. Closer schools, better education, and so what were your plans when you graduated from high school? Because you disappeared on you just like poof, pow, gone.
All throughout high school, I was focused on one thing: academics, not athletics or anything like that. And I just knew I was going to go to law school and be a lawyer and be successful because I was always fascinated with the law. But when you're coming from a poverty-stricken family and you don't have the resources, and we didn't have all of the grants and things they have for students to go to school. Now, it's difficult to go to school and work and things like that. So I went into the Marine Corps as a way to pay for my education because it was hard. It was a struggle for mom to try to raise kids and put a kid through school and me to try to work and go to school. So the Marine Corps and the military was my way of out. A lot of guys didn't want to go, but for me, it was an opportunity.
Now, I never would have thought you or anybody we know would have joined the Marines during that era. And so you disappeared on us and became this guy right here. Now tell me about this guy here with all that up on your chest.
Well, this guy here, it was funny because I wanted to be a Marine, but I was going to go into the Air Force because one of my buddies had talked me, but we went down to the recruiting station. The Air Force guy had a sign on the desk that said, "Made mission, going fishing."
That is a true saying about the Air Force guy. Once they make mission, they do go fishing.
Made mission. So the Marine Corps guy was over there. So I went over and I joined the Marine Corps, and I don't regret it. Because
you don't regret it?
I thought it was going to be a 4-year hitch. just enough to finish school, get an education, but then every day you start to working and it becomes part of you, that discipline.
That is true.
And those goals and objectives. And the Marine Corps really made me the man that I am.
What the community had that a lot of people didn't know is that when you did something good or great, the elderly were on the porch and they recognized you and they applaud you for it. Yeah. They let everybody know that's one of the good kids right there. He's gonna be something. That's what the community had that a lot of these communities that outside of us didn't have. And even though that people know us from the headlines, from the 6 o'clock news, the newspapers, not one person on the outside know us individually or tried to get to know us. Because if they did, they would know what we know right now. Yeah. We're protected in this community. This is a family here. And that's something a lot of people in these other communities don't have, and that they don't care to share. I have a question for you guys, because unbeknown to you, I do know because I am a soldier, retired soldier. You mentioned that your father, you, Mr. Charles, was an Army Ranger. Okay. Let's talk about this just for a minute. We're going to get off track a little bit. There's not too many black Army Rangers. So tell me, how did you accomplish that feat?
Hard work, dedication, and proud to be where I was.
That's the Ranger motto. Hard work and dedication.
Hard work and dedication.
Yes.
A Ranger goes in one person and comes out 6.
Wow. Yes.
See, it's all about you when you go in.
Yeah, correct.
But when they get through with you, it's all about everybody around.
Right.
Not only is it a good motive to live by, but just the same standards I live by with my family right now.
Yeah.
I look out for all of them in an effort for them to look out for me.
Okay, so let me ask Miss Thelma something. Did you know who this man was when he was an Army Ranger? You didn't know? It was a shock, huh? Even when I was in, and I was an infantry unit, my first unit, Fort Camp 101st, there was only one black ranger. One. Jack's Quarters in the headline is a bad place to live. Barksdale Annex in the headline is not a place that you want to visit. But to the guys, the 80+ veterans that come from here, we know this is the place to live. This is the place you want to be, because this is what we call home. This is our community. This is what we turned into after leaving the military. After we left our community, we turned into citizens, productive citizens. Yes, service to a country is what we strive for, to serve our country, but it's also service to our community. It's what we did once we returned from our enlistment. Some of us did 4 years, some of us did 8 years, some of us did 10 years, but some of us also retired. And when we retired, we came back home and gave back to our community. Because this community that a lot of people don't know about, that they don't know about the individuals that live here, who gave us something, we wanted to come back and give it back.
Look, I don't want to cut you off, but I hear that John voice. Is that somebody from my childhood?
That's on Pete.
Who is that from my childhood?
Singing Pete.
This is Singing Pete.
This is Singing Pete. Keep singing.
Hold up, I got one for y'all.
Go ahead.
You got a bedroom song?
No, hold up, let me tell you what I got to you. I got all the neighborhoods in Shreveport and Boat.
Go ahead,
Run it down.
Well, I know that way. Simply heaven rain go, darling men, old Prince and Horton, old Red Shoe, Highway 80, old Bossier City, old Jack Quarter, old Benton, old Plain Dealing, old downtown, Highland, Broadmoor, Bottom, Eagle, Market, Cooper Road, old Allendale, Lakeside, Queensboro, Motown and Hollywood, Ballet and Greenwood, Shady Grove, Greenbrook, City Grove, Eden Garden, Old Stony Hill, Old Cross Yosku, 11 Lee, and that mug of waters know I be.
Hey, that right
You
there.
know all the neighborhoods.
That right there is that's who we call Singing Pete. Back when we were small, growing up around here, Pete always to walk around. You see him in Shreveport. You see him all those neighborhoods that he just called out. A lot of them are here in Bossier, but some of them are over in Shreveport.
Yes.
He's never changed. That's been a long time. That's been at least 40 plus years right there.
What the community had that a lot of people didn't know is that when you did something good or great, the elderly were on the porch and they recognized you and they applaud you for it. Yeah. They let everybody know that's one of the good kids right there. He's gonna be something. That's what the community had that a lot of these communities outside of us didn't have. And even though that people know us from the headlines, from the 6 o'clock news, the newspapers, not one person on the outside know us individually or tried to get to know us. Because if they did, they would know what we know right now. Yeah. We're protected in this community. This is a family here. And
this neighborhood has 17 streets, man.
17 streets.
17 streets.
Yeah, and we could manage to go to war and combat and don't lose nobody. But once again,
come back home.
Streets,
come back home.
Come back home.
To something else.
To something else. And Kenny, I want to say I enjoy walking with you and talking about
James,
this.
you too, man.
And
it's been good.
We people call this Jack's Quarters. They call it Barksdale Annex. But as two veterans, we call this home.
We call it home.
This is home. And you can say what you want to say about it, but one thing you can't say is there's no success here.
That's right.
Because we know it, we're living proof.
Mm-hmm.
And we just want everybody to know this is Jack's Quarters. This is our home.
And we serve.
And we serve.
We serve people.
This is why we call Jack's Quarters, Barksdale Annex, home. Because of what we've seen, witnessed, and persevered in, allowed us to grow and become better. We will always be great citizens. But number one and foremost, we're better veterans. And we are number one citizens here. This is our number one home, our first love. We serve the Jack's Quarters store.